Hey everyone, so this video will not be a book related video. I am talking about my journey to pharmacy school and my experience after my first semester of pharmacy school. In one of my recent videos, I asked if anyone would be interested in me making this video, and I got a lot of positive responses of people saying that they would love to hear my journey and experience. So here I am making this video. Totally understand if you're just here for book videos and want to skip this one. That is completely fine, and I will have new book videos coming soon after this one. But yeah, this is more of a personal video. First off, I just want to say that this is obviously my personal experience and it may be different for other people. So if you're interested in pharmacy, definitely look up, other people's thoughts and opinions. This is just my experience with just one pharmacy school that's in my state. Things are probably different all over the country and all over the world. So I guess I'll start off talking about what got me into pharmacy and why I chose that career path. In high school, I was always interested in science. Science was my favorite subject, and I'd kind of thought about doing pharmacy, but the idea of moving to a new city and going to graduate school just kind of intimidated me. Honestly, just wanted to get a 4-year bachelor's degree and kind of move on with my life. I didn't really want to go to school for that long. So I decided to go to an undergraduate school that was in my hometown. I went to LSU for 3 years of undergraduate. 2 years of my undergraduate school were towards a biochemistry degree. As many of you know, I started my channel whenever I started college, and I was working on a biochem degree at that time. So the spring before my 3rd year of college, I started working in a pharmacy as a cashier. The opportunity for this job kind of just fell in my lap. I met the pharmacy manager just randomly and through happenstance, and she kind of I told her, that I was at LSU for a biochemistry degree and she needed a cashier at the pharmacy that she worked at. So she asked me if I wanted to apply for the job. And at the time, I did not need a job. I mean, I was living at home with my parents, just going to school, doing YouTube. And not that, I made any sort of substantial money at all from YouTube, but it was enough to be kind of like a little bit of spending money. So I didn't need a job. But something told me that, this would be a really good experience. I've always kind of been interested in pharmacy since high school. So I was like, I might as well take this job. It's kind of just landed in front of me. I should take this opportunity. So I did, and that was in March of 2015. I worked as a cashier for a while, so I was not filling prescriptions or anything like that. I was just checking people out at the counter, doing like some just cleanup duties, like putting papers in order and folding papers to go with prescriptions, bagging them, just doing things around the pharmacy that didn't involve me touching medicine or, working on the computer or anything like that. After working there for, I think it was only about a month or two, the pharmacy manager was like, hey, what do you plan to do with your biochem degree? And I said, I'm not quite sure yet. I was planning on, maybe getting an internship somewhere or possibly doing research or something like that. And she was like, do you really want to do that? Do you enjoy being in the lab? And I was like, not really. I don't really love it that much. She was like, why don't you go to pharmacy school? And I told her that I was just kind of intimidated by the whole thing. I didn't know if it's what I really wanted to do. She kind of just gave me the confidence, and she said, you totally could do it. I see you, working in the pharmacy. You're really good with talking with the customers and the patients, and I think it would be a really good fit for you from what I can tell of your personality. And I was like, you know what? You have a really good point. Let me research it some more. There are 2 pharmacy schools in Louisiana. And for one of the colleges, the prerequisites aligned with classes that I had already taken. So I really didn't have that many more prerequisites to do for that school. And also it was much cheaper than the other one. So I started researching that one, and I decided that that's what I wanted to do. At least for the program that I was doing and the school that I'm going to, you do not have to get an undergraduate degree to go to pharmacy school. You just have to complete all of the prerequisites or the undergraduate prerequisites before you go to pharmacy graduate school. And so I had done most of them because biochemistry really aligns with pharmacy. So I changed my major to pre-pharmacy, which isn't really a major, it's just a program that guides you through the prerequisites for whichever school you're choosing to go to. I hurried up and changed my major. That following summer, I had to take a few classes to catch up with the prerequisites. I took the PCAT, which is the Pharmacy College admissions test, in that following October. And so then that fall and spring, I completed the prerequisite courses for the school I was going to, and I sent in my application in January, and I had an interview in February, and then about 2 weeks after my interview, I found out that I was accepted, and starting, fall 2016. I had to change everything really quickly. I took the PCAT at the last testing date that they accepted, but it all turned out good, and I'm so happy with my decision. I really love pharmacy for many reasons. I could talk about it for a while, but I love having the patient interaction, but not being like hands-on with patients so much like a doctor would be, and I like having all of the drug therapy knowledge. I think it's very fascinating knowing how drugs work, and there's way more to it than that, but I like the science part of it, but that you're also interacting with people at the same time. I still haven't completely decided which field of pharmacy I want to go into, but I'm still working in a retail pharmacy. I'm working in a retail pharmacy in the city where I go to school, and I'm also working at one in my hometown whenever I come home on breaks. I've really enjoyed retail so far. I do like the environment, but it can get pretty stressful, and the hours are really long. At least where I work, the company that I work for, pharmacists work 13-hour shifts, and it depends what store you work at, how many days a week you're working, or what your weekly schedule is. The pharmacists that I work for work 2 days on, 2 days off, and they alternate weekends. So you get quite a few days off during the week, but you are working 13-hour shifts, usually back to back. At least in a busier store, you're constantly bombarded with tasks, and you have to be able to multitask and prioritize and time manage. But I don't know, I find it really challenging and fun. But right now I'm just an intern, which is basically a pharmacy technician. So I'm kind of filling the prescriptions for the pharmacist to check them, answering phones, talking to patients, and still cashiering too sometimes. So it's a lot, but I think it's a lot of fun. I am interested in looking into other fields of pharmacy. There's like 80 something fields that you can go into. And what's good about the pharmacy school that I go to is they do a lot of rotations. And I'm not sure if this is common to all pharmacy schools, but the school I'm going to is a 4-year program. You do 3 years sitting in a classroom, learning stuff, and then your entire 4th year you do rotations, each one being about 7 weeks long, and I believe you do 7 of those. So you get to experience a bunch of different areas, working in hospitals, working as a clinical pharmacist. You can choose rotations that you might be interested in, such as like nuclear pharmacy, do a rotation in compounding pharmacy. And there's just so many different areas you can go into depending on your personality and what you like to do. And you also do rotations over the summers. So this upcoming summer in 2017, I'm doing my first rotation, which is at an independent community pharmacy. So not a retail chain pharmacy, more kind of the mom and pop pharmacy, but those are 4-week-long rotations that we do over the summer. So total, my schooling is going to take 7 years because I did 3 years of undergraduate, 4 years of pharmacy school, and I think that's usually how most people that I've talked to have done it. If I could have probably done my prerequisites in 2 years if I had started out in pre-pharmacy, because I got a lot of college credits in high school, so I probably could have gotten it done in 2 years, but I know most people, it does take them 3 years to do the prerequisites for pharmacy school. So it's a total of about 7 years. And at first, before I started, that sounded like so much schooling and that I didn't want to do that. But you know, when I graduate, I will be 26 years old. That's still really, really young. The demand for pharmacists is not going to, decrease over the coming years. If anything, I believe it's going to increase. So I think it's a really promising field to go into. I love the material. I've loved it so far. And I did get a question that what kind of degree will I be getting? I'm getting a doctorate of pharmacy degree. So it is a PhD. So that's really cool. Now I'm going to talk about how my first semester of pharmacy school was. So it was a lot of changes to move to a new city. I actually met a girl at LSU who was also going to the same pharmacy school as me, and so we decided to be roommates. I grew up as an only child, having a lot of space for myself. I was kind of nervous about having to live with someone that I didn't really know too well, and meeting a bunch of new people. I was kind of nervous for the changes, but also really, really excited, and it just turned out so great. I love my roommate. I love my friends that I've made. It just all feels so right. And that's how I know I'm doing the right thing and that I'm going down the right path. It just feels like once I started pharmacy school, everything just kind of like clicked into place. I loved school. I loved all the material we were learning. Yes, it was hard, but what makes it easier is that your entire year, your entire class sits in one room. So in my year, there are 86 people. So we all sit in the one room every day and the teachers come to us, kind of like how it was in elementary school. At least where I went to school, in elementary school, you stayed in the same classroom and the teachers came to you. And that's how pharmacy school is. So that's pretty cool. It's much different than going to a big undergraduate university where you have to walk 5 miles every day. We get to just park right outside the door, go up to our classroom and sit in really nice comfy chairs at nice desks. What's also very different, at least from my undergraduate experience, is that the teachers, the professors, they really care and they want you to succeed. At LSU, I had classes, I had a few classes with 900 plus people in them. One of my first semester classes had 1,000 people. And yes, the professors care, but there was no one-on-one teaching experience or feeling with the professors unless you like went out of your way to go to their office, which I never really did. So I can't really speak to that, if that helped or not, but it really taught me though to teach myself and to learn how to, study on my own. And it just taught me a lot of really good skills. So I don't know if I would change it, but it's very different at pharmacy school. You definitely feel a closer connection with the professors. Yeah, it's just nice that they really want us to succeed. If you, don't do well on the test, then they come to you and they talk to you and ask, what was the problem? Do you need us to help you with anything? Are there any specific areas that you want to talk about? Or, they have like an early intervention program. I would say the hardest thing about the courses and the material in general is that it's a lot of stuff. I took 7 classes last semester. Every class had an assignment. Even though some of the assignments weren't necessarily hard, you just had to do something for every class, and there was just a lot of papers to write and just, a lot of reading to do, and it was just a lot to do and a lot to keep up with. But as long as you kind of stayed on top of it, I felt that it wasn't, it wasn't too bad. I loved my first semester. I had a wonderful time and I hope that feeling continues into the future. I know it's just gonna get harder, but I am looking forward to the spring semester, which apparently is one of the hardest semesters because we're taking A classes, but I think I'm ready and I'm looking forward to getting back to school and seeing my roommate, all my friends. My roommate and I, we were talking about doing a video together because obviously she knows that I make YouTube videos and she really likes YouTube as well. Although she doesn't make videos, she likes watching YouTube and she does watch my videos, so shout out to Victoria if you're watching. We were thinking about doing like a video together, but we didn't really know what. So if there's like a roommate tag out there that you would like us to do, or if you just want us to like answer some questions or do like a fun challenge, let me know. She doesn't really read that much, so we couldn't really do a book challenge, but if you know of any other fun YouTube challenges, let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see us do that. And also, if you have any questions about pharmacy or pharmacy school in general, let me know those below. I will answer them to the best of my ability, but obviously I just kind of have like a very narrow area of experience, but I have talked to a lot of different pharmacists, so I might could help some, but I'm really only familiar with how pharmacy schools are in my state. So not really even nationwide, and definitely don't know about how it is in other countries. But if you are in pharmacy or you're a pharmacist or a pharmacy tech in another state or country, let me know how your experience compares to mine. Is your schooling similar to mine? Or if you work in a pharmacy, tell me how your pharmacy is. I'm very interested to know and I would love to talk with you below. So I think that's all I have. It was a lot of information. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I just didn't really know how to narrow it down and what to say and what to cut out. So I hope you enjoyed and I will see you very soon. Bye!